was one of the greatest catches Randy Moss has ever made.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, the Fantasy Fornicator. You know what we're doing to the game, baby. And today we got the top 12 wide receiver rankings 2020. The early rankings, this is all pre-draft. This is how I got the wide receivers finishing the year. This is how I have them projected out. It doesn't mean, draft them necessarily in this order. It just means, this is how I value them. So understand the value when you guys draft them, when they fall to you in your draft. I know it's a little bit too early for drafts right now, but, let's have some fun with this top 12. Let's go. First guy up, my guy, Michael Thomas for the New Orleans Saints. And, of course, I got him coming back as a number one dog with over 1,700 receiving yards last year. Also 9 touchdowns, and just the targets, the volume that he gets in that offense with Drew Brees or even Taysom Hill, whoever's throwing him the ball. And, I just feel like he's going to produce again. He's going to come through. That offense over there, is ran really well by Sean Payton, and Drew Brees knows what he's doing, and he knows how to find his guys. So we're not going to waste a lot of time with Michael Thomas. We all know he's that dude, and I really, really feel like he's going to go ahead and have a big year once again. So, yeah, number one, Michael Thomas. Number two, we're going to go with my guy, Davante Adams. Last year, yes, he was injured. Only played 12 games. He did finish 29th. Definitely not what you expected. I drafted him in the first round, and I know a lot of people did as well. But, yeah, he only had 5 receiving touchdowns. He just missed out on 1,000 receiving yards. But he still had 127 targets in those games. So, in those 12 games. So I really feel like him and Aaron Rodgers, they're going to get it going. He's going to stay healthy. And, him being that primary weapon, that receiving option for the Green Bay Packers and for Aaron Rodgers, I feel like he's going to come through in a big way, get back to his double-digit touchdown ways, and still have over 1,000 receiving yards. I see him getting about 150 targets. So he's going to get over 100 receptions. I feel like he possibly could threaten Michael Thomas for that number one spot. So I really, really like Davante Adams coming into this year once again. Number 3, we're going to go with Tyreek the Freak Hill Cheetah. I feel like he's going to have a big year as well. He also was injured, banged up. He only played 12 games. But still, he produced. He had only 89 targets, 58 receptions, 860 receiving yards. Finished with 7 touchdowns, though, in those 12 games. And, this offense with Patrick Mahomes, if he stays healthy, is just going to keep doing what it does. Why? Because the running back, there's not a clear-cut running back. Is it Damian Williams? I know he had a big game in the Super Bowl. Some people wanted him to win the MVP. We're not going to get into that. But at the end of the day, there's not that true workhorse running back that's going to carry this team, literally. They're going to throw that ball. Patrick Mahomes is going to be healthy. Kelsey's going to eat. And, of course, Tyreek is going to eat. And, there's going to be like 1 or 2 players that's going to pop off, throughout the year, on an inconsistent basis. But Tyreek, he's going to be that dude. He's going to finish. I got him finishing number 3. We just need him to stay healthy. So stay healthy, baby. Number 4, we're going to go with Julio. Julio Jones last year finished number 4 in fantasy PPR. And, I see him doing it again. If we could get those touchdowns up, if Matt Ryan could find him in the end zone more often, and which is always the problem for Julio, if they get that going, he's going to pop off once again. And, finishing 4th last year, I see him doing it again. 157 targets, almost 1,400 receiving yards. And yes, 6 touchdowns. Julio is one of those guys that can always threatens to finish as a top dog, and he's got a great chance once again in this upcoming year. Number 5, last year he finished number 2. This year I have him finishing number 5, and that is Chris Godwin from Tampa Bay, the pride of Penn State. Chris Godwin last year, with Jameis throwing him the ball, he had 1,333 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns. And, Tom Brady coming into the team, he's going to go ahead and find his guy in the slot. He loves doing that. Chris Godwin, those short intermediate passes, those slants, he's going to get that and take off running. And, I really like Chris Godwin. He's a really safe pick, somebody that's going to go ahead and produce week in and week out, reliable. You can't go wrong with the Chris Godwin. So Chris Godwin, my number 5 wide receiver. My number 6 wide receiver that I got is Kenny Golladay, Kenny G out of Detroit. I feel like he's going to pop off. I think Matthew Stafford being healthy is going to help a lot. And last year, Kenny G, with a banged up Matthew Stafford, finished 9th in PPR. He had 1,190 receiving yards and double-digit touchdowns. He had 11 touchdowns, 116 targets. So with only 65 receptions too, so that lets you know that he doesn't need a whole lot of receptions to make an impact on your fantasy team. But nonetheless, he's still getting those targets. If we could get better targets, more catchable passes, Kenny G is going to have, over 1,300 receiving yards, and I see him finishing with double-digit touchdowns again. I have him as my number 6 wide receiver. My number 7, Amari Cooper out of the Dallas Cowboys. I feel like he's going to pop off. Last year finished 10th. I see him doing big things. Last year, 1,189 receiving yards, 8 receiving touchdowns, 119 targets from Dak Prescott, and I just see the connection, the chemistry continuing to evolve with these guys. I really like that team, the changes they made with Mike McCarthy coming. He's going to implement and assist on that offense, and he always has that number 1 top dog wide receiver, and that's going to be Amari Cooper. My number 8 wide receiver is going to be Cooper Kupp. I really feel like the Rams are going to be looking for him a lot. They switched up their offense. Obviously, Brandon Cooks got shipped out, Todd Gurley as well. So now you're going to look more 2 receiver, 2 tight end sets, and I think that's going to benefit Kupp. It's more targets. Cooks being gone opens up more targets. I am not worried about Josh Reynolds at all. So Kupp last year, 1,161 receiving yards with 10 touchdowns. So, I like for him to stay around 10 touchdowns. I like for him to stay at about 100 receptions. He finished with 94 last year. So I could see him, with similar numbers, good enough to finish inside the top 10. I have him at number 8. Now, this next guy, I know you guys have probably been waiting for him. Last year finished number 3. This upcoming year, I have him finishing number 9, and that's D-Hop, Nuke. The reason why I have him finishing number 9 is because on the Cardinals now, with Kyler Murray and in that style of offense where the ball is going to be spread out in literally a spread formation, everybody's going to eat. I'm talking about Larry Fitz, Kirk, D-Hop, even Andy Isabella, and of course Kenyon Drake. So I feel like it's a lot of offensive weapons where it's not going to fall all on D-Hop's shoulders like it did in Houston. Deshaun Watson, D-Hop bailed him out so many times when he was being, chased around by the defense because their O-line sucks so bad. In Arizona, the O-line is not great as either, but there's a lot more weapons over there. So I really feel like D-Hop, he's going to have a great year. He's going to be a nice, safe pick. But I worry about where people are going to be drafting him. I feel like it might be too early. So D-Hop, he is my number 9 wide receiver coming into this year. Number 10, Mike Evans. Last year, finished number 11. This upcoming year, having him finishing number 10. About the same, pretty much the same. You can't be mad at that. And the thing with Mike Evans, he is a big play, game changer type of guy. Jameis would look for him often, just bomb the ball. Evans would go and get it. Is Tom Brady going to be able to find him like that? I feel like he will. He's not going to have to, force the ball to him, which is going to be the nice thing. Tom Brady's going to make things easier for Mike Evans. A lot of catches that he made were tough catches. Jameis put the ball in poor spots, but Evans bailed him out a lot. So Tom Brady's going to find him. I feel like Evans is a nice, safe pick. Last year had 8 touchdowns at 1,157 receiving yards. I see him finishing with double-digit touchdowns, especially if the rumors are true with O.J. Howard. If he is going to get traded, that means Mike Evans is even going to be a bigger threat in those goal line red zone situations. So Mike Evans, number 10. Number 11, my guy Allen Robinson out of Chicago, another Penn State alumni. And yeah, man, A-Rob last year finished number 7. This upcoming year, I have him finishing number 10. And he had 1,147 receiving yards with 7 touchdowns. And we all know the quarterback play was not good last year. It hasn't been good at all with Mitch at the helm for the most part. Now bringing in Big Dick Nick, I feel like things are going to change up. The pressure is on Mitch. Hopefully by the time this drops, they already cut him. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. Everybody that follows me, you guys know I really, really despise Mitch and Ryan Pace, but I don't want to get into all of that. Big Dick Nick is going to help A-Rod finish inside the top 12. He's going to be a wide receiver 1. He runs all types of routes. He's just a dope receiver. He comes through even with Blake Bortles throwing him the ball, Mitch throwing in the ball, Chase Daniels throwing in the ball. All the weakest quarterbacks in the NFL could possibly have, he's produced with these guys. So I feel like he's another guy, a very, very safe pick. Now, my number 12 wide receiver to finish this out, my guy DJ Moore out of Carolina. He's going to come through for you guys. He's another safe pick. Why? Because Teddy Bridgewater targets on his number 1 wide receiver a lot. Michael Thomas was just getting peppered with targets when Drew Brees went down from this guy, Teddy Bridgewater, and he's going to do the same thing with DJ Moore. And that defense is so bad that they're going to be put in a game script where they're going to have to pass the ball. They're going to have to air it out. And DJ Moore, he's going to benefit off of that. He could hit him with a slant and take off. Teddy Bridgewater, he doesn't take a lot of risk, but DJ Moore, he creates a lot of separation, and I could see him doing that, especially in the NFC South where the defenses aren't that good. Minus the Saints. The Saints are pretty good. The Saints defense is pretty good is what I meant to say. But, you look at Atlanta, you look at Tampa, the secondary, I think DJ Moore is going to have some big games, 4 big games right there. And he's going to be safe enough to finish as the number 12 wide receiver just like he did last year. So those are my top 12. We're going to go over them once again. We are talking about Michael Thomas as the number 1 wide receiver. Davante Adams finishing number 2. Tyreek Hill finishing number 3. Julio Jones number 4. Chris Godwin at 5. Kenny Golladay at number 6. Number 7, we got Amari Cooper. Number 8, we got Cooper Kupp. Number 9, we got D-Hop, DeAndre Hopkins out of Arizona now. Number 10, we got Mike Evans. Number 11, we got Allen Robinson. And number 12, we're going to finish it up with DJ Moore. So those are my top 12 wide receiver rankings early. This is pre-draft. Things more than likely will change. Reports will come in from camps and things could change. So we're just having some fun here. But if there's something you guys would change, if I have somebody too high, somebody too low, am I missing somebody from this list, let me know. There's some, I was thinking there's some wide receivers that like barely missed the cut by a little bit. I was looking at DK Metcalf a lot. I feel like he might be the wide receiver to own in Seattle simply because Lockett's probably going to get drafted first. Then, my guy DK later. And I just feel like the upside with the red zone threat, I feel like it's going to be really, really nice for him. He's somebody I really like. Keenan Allen, I didn't mention him at all. I feel like the Chargers are going to do fine with Tyrod or, whichever quarterback, if they do draft one. I think, he's one of those guys that as long as he's healthy, and he's been proving that he can stay healthy as of late, I think he's going to produce, especially in PPR leagues. Those are just a couple guys that I like. And, we'll see what happens with Odell. Odell Beckham, there's rumors that he might get traded. I don't know if it's true or not, but, we'll see what happens with him. Jarvis Landry, another guy. Adam Thielen, another guy, with Stephon Diggs being gone. Stephon Diggs in Buffalo. There's a lot of wide receivers that, you can make an argument for, but these are my top 12 as of right now. Let me know how you guys feel. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Search me all in one word on a search bar on YouTube, Fantasy Fornicator. And yeah, man, I appreciate you guys rocking with me like you guys have been. And, if you guys are not following me, make sure to start following me now. To the next one, Peace.